So, should teenagers be lifting weights?
Let's find out. So we're getting asked this question left, right and centre across our social media channels right now. And you know what? You do not have to look far to figure out the answers why. Look at the magazines. Look at everybody living their hashtag best life on social media and vlogging and just looking unbelievable. If you're starting to compare yourself to that, geez, there's going to be some pressures there. Because I remember when I was 12 years old, you could not find a muscle on my body if I paid you to. And I was a full-on, my nickname was Leon the Racing Snake. All right, and then I'm looking at the guy in the Men's Health magazine going, this just doesn't correlate. So I think the first thing we really need to make very clear is that there's a lot of pressure out there, and understanding and seeing a little bit more of the bigger picture will definitely help.
Okay, so do we think teenagers should be able to lift weights? Absolutely, I don't see a problem with it. I don't hold much store by the whole it stunts your bone growth and all that kind of stuff. I think that's been pretty well debunked. I actually think there wasn't much evidence, if any, for it in the first place. One thing I want to get out and make it very clear from the start is teenager is a very broad description. You have teenagers that are 12 or 13 who look like men, or they look like women.
That was me. I was super hairy. I was a hairy dude.
Or you have someone like myself. Guys, I didn't have a hair on my body till I was probably in my 20s. I was so ridiculously late to puberty that it was actually quite uncomfortable, and it made me feel quite anxious when I was younger. Like, I didn't want to wear shorts, have my legs out because people teased me for having no leg hair, all that kind of stuff. And to expect all teenagers to be the same as one blanket term.
It's not 13 years old and you're a teenager anymore.
No, it's completely different. So we need to look at the way we train differently. We know testosterone, our primary sex hormone, is what really helps us build muscles. So those that might have been a bit more like Leon, a bit more developed, are going to have a way better chance of building muscle than someone like myself.
At a younger age.
Having said that, doesn't mean that I shouldn't work out and lift weights. No. Having said that, it also means that Leon, almost more than myself, needs to work on his technique and his ability to lift. And why we're saying this is the more muscle you have, typically the more weight you can lift. And if you're lifting crappily with bad form, the more chance there is of you getting injured. So what I suggest everybody does, they start with some body weight exercises, start to understand their body, what's tight, what doesn't maybe move as well as someone else's, work on those, get the barbell exercises in, start to be taught how to do deadlifts properly, how to do squats properly, because when the time comes, when you're able to start loading weights on them, if you can do them properly, one, you're going to get no setbacks, so you're not going to get injured. Two, your benefits on building muscle are going to be just massively, hugely, catastrophically more.
And I don't want to pigeonhole anyone here, but me and John have worked in the industry and worked in gyms for 10 years. And I've got to be completely honest, some of the worst form and most overloaded bars I've ever seen are from young males and females in the free weight section. And I get it again, I'm going to empathize with you as much as I possibly can in this video, because you walk into the gym. I walked into the gym when I stopped boxing at around 19, 20 years old, started lifting weights. It took me 5 minutes to look round and become very aware of the fact that I was the weakest dude in there. And what is the first reaction that we have? We go and put more weight on the bar and start moving horrifically. So it's super important, as John says, to just get out of your head, be in the gym, learn the fundamentals, because you're going to instantly, as soon as you walk into that more of an adult environment, the wider population of the gym world, you're going to feel so much more confident and comfortable with your abilities.
Statistically, actually lifting weights in the gym, injury-wise, is extremely low, especially when you compare it to a contact sport, maybe like rugby, if you're in America, like NFL. They're contact sports. The chance of getting injured are so much more, yet we're very much like, oh, my kid's playing rugby, oh yeah, my kid's doing American football, but they don't want him to lift weights. Do you see what I mean? Like Leon said before we started filming this, we're not here to give you permission on what you can or can't do.
That's not the question, is it?
No.
It's not the question at all. I think the thing is, when it comes to lifting weights, is asking yourself why you're doing it. And I think sometimes that idea of because you're doing it for a sport, it's performance driven, which is amazing. And that's the way that we try to teach a lot of people to train. And unfortunately, a lot of the time nowadays, the association with going in the gym and lifting weights is from an insecurity or an aesthetic standpoint. And you know what? We don't have a problem with people who want to lift weights because they want to look good. Why did we start lifting weights?
Same reason.
Exactly that.
So I think the whole idea of this video, like Leon said, and the question we get asked all the time is, should teenagers be lifting weights? It isn't really a case of can or should, it's why should they? You should be doing American football or rugby if that's what you love and that's what sets you on fire and you love it. You should be lifting weights now if that's something that you really enjoy. You shouldn't necessarily feel the pressures, and that's a really hard thing to say, because We all feel pressures, but in this day and age with social media, which we love, it's super supportive, we follow a select amount of people, but all those people you follow with those amazing bodies are the top 1% of the people in the world that look amazing. That doesn't mean you can't look like that. That doesn't mean you won't look like that. All I'm saying is just maybe lower your expectations on yourself, or at least the pressures you have on yourself, to a more manageable amount.
And I think at this point as well, one other thing I would add is just pump the brakes a little. We're all super, and this sounds really patronizing because I know somebody said it to me, so sorry if it sounds like this, is try not to grow up too fast. You know, all of those pressures, all of those wants, those needs, those going to the gym, all these different cycles, they're all going to be there in 10 years time. They're all going to be there in 20 years time if you like that. And if anything, they're only going to get worse. So while you're younger and you can just be free, have fun, go out, chase women or chase guys or whatever you want to do, enjoy it, because there's going to be so many other pressures and worries and financial constraints and stuff as you get older. So have fun, figure out your reason why, and
learn the techniques.
Learn the techniques
first.
Wait for your leg hair to grow, and then just kick some ass.
So I hope this video helped you guys, especially all you teens out there who this video is for. Just to clarify again, we don't feel there's any reason why you can't lift weights, but if you're doing them, make sure you get taught properly. Start with the body weight movements and progress up in like a hierarchy, so then get to your barbell stuff. And this is what's great about team sports and stuff like that, rugby, NFL, they have a strength and conditioning side, but that strength and conditioning side is instructed. There's someone there teaching you. So to go in blindly, lift loads of weight and do it stupidly is when you're gonna find yourself in a lot of hot water that you don't need to be in.
So if you enjoyed this video, guys and girls, give it a massive thumbs up. You know that always helps us. Subscribe if you haven't. If you want to continue the conversation below, get in that comment box and we will see you in the next one.
Bye guys.